freezing cold. There's snow on the ground. There's a foot of snow on the ground. And the only way I can keep myself warm is to wrap myself in blankets. Hello! Today is January 1st, 2022. I can't believe it's been 4 years I've had this. In early 2018, late February, early March, I did a 9-day fast, and the original intent was to do a 15-day fast and a vow of silence, but the silence part proved to be unworkable, partly because I wanted to take a video log of what I was going through, and I didn't want to have to try and recreate it later, which I did do every day except for day 7. I probably should have posted all this earlier, but I just didn't get around to it, so shame on me. So this is my last meal, shrimp fried rice. I just bought 9 gallons. Pretty out of balance right now, and need to show my body and my mind who's in charge. Anyway, shrimp fried rice is going to be good. This is probably my last meal, and I'll be going to the hot springs. Why fasting? Well, with some luck that will become evident as the video progresses. For now, I'll just say that I find it's good to have a hard reset from time to time. And the best place for that, for me anyway, is out in nature, and usually by myself, though I'm not shy about having others along. So I drove up into the Colorado mountains to one of the many hot springs. Colorado has about 90. I guess there's liquid hot magma below us. Keep in mind, when I'm doing my daily video, I'm at 8,100 feet. It's extremely cold and cramped, so there's a lot of sniffling and snorting and yawning, so not every shot is a glamour shot. Also, if you know the name of the mountains that are directly in front of me, please let me know, because I forgot. So I just arrived at the hot springs. I'm a little concerned about the parking spot. It's in the middle of a huge mud puddle, and I think if I leave my van here for a week, it'll be about, I don't know, maybe 2 feet sunk in the mud, and I won't be able to get it out. I'll pan around the surroundings here. It's not that great. There's the mud puddle down there, as you can see. Some busted chairs. My first day of fasting. Things are going just freaking dandy. And action. I don't even know how this camera works. I hope it's actually recording. Last night was super windy. It felt like somebody kept pushing on the side of the van, so my sleep sucked. And I didn't get up this morning until like 11 o'clock because I didn't really want to face the day. It's so windy I can't take anything outside, so I can't really do any painting. I suppose I could set up an area in here. Probably just going to do some reading today. Not really all that hungry. Actually, I am. I would eat a full meal right now, but it's not unbearable. So I'm trying to make some hot, salty water. But this morning my GoPro battery was dead, and my little jet boil isn't working properly, so it's taking like an hour to heat up water. Other than that, everything's fine. Been thinking about doing this little experiment where I write down the thoughts that are occurring to me for like the next 5 or 6 hours. I should probably do it today, and then or maybe tomorrow, and then like mid-adventure I should do it again, just to see what kinds of things are occurring to me. I don't know why, but my fingernails always get dirty when I'm on these adventures. And I definitely won't be leaving anytime soon. I'll be staying here for at least 4 or 5 days because it is a blizzard. This is kind of what I feared with my van up here in the mountains. I don't know why. I don't know why I went directly into this. So one thing I wanted to avoid is bad weather in my fucking van. But here we are. The good thing is I don't have to worry about it for another 6 days. So hunger's not so bad. I think I was going to bed last night. I was really angry about stuff. I don't really know why. Just really upset, mainly about stupid things. But I was like for 3 or 4 hours. I couldn't get to sleep because I was so mad. But eventually I burned myself out on that. Here we are. It's morning time. It's Friday morning. March 1st? March 2nd? I don't know. Somewhere in here. Let's see. March 1st. And I haven't had my water breakfast yet, but I'm fixing to make that pretty soon. And I think I'm going to put the old boots on and the snow pants and do some walking around today. So that'll be good. I still haven't used the hot pool, the hot springs yet. I just don't have any interest and any desire to. But I'm sure it'll happen at some point. Anyway, I'm going to make breakfast, read some Brothers Karamazov, and get busy. So this is day 3. It's Saturday. If I can manage to make it to 7 o'clock tonight, that's 3 days of fasting. And I'll tell you what, I am fucking wiped out today. I am really, really tired. I have no energy at all. None. This morning I did decide to get into the hot pools. I was only going to spend 30 minutes in there, and I spent like an hour and a half. And now the only thing I want to do is just go to sleep. I don't even want to read. I don't want to do anything. I have no energy. I have no idea how people do this for longer than 3 or 4 days. I hope something kicks in. Last night I had a really strange pain in my left side too. It's not there now, but I couldn't get rid of it. It was partially positional, but there's something else going on too. And my stomach today is growling. I mean, just absolutely growling. My body's pretty pissed off. I think this is the longest I've ever gone without food. I don't know. I was going to go out and take some pictures today. I'm probably not even going to do that. I need to wait until I have more energy, which might be never. Greetings. Well, it is Sunday. This is day 4. As of 7 o'clock tonight, it'll be 4 days without food. I've had a low-grade headache for the past 12 hours or so. Yesterday when I came back from the hot springs, I was exhausted. I think that was more the effect of the hot springs. I drank some water and I felt okay after that. I did take a short nap. The big problem, may end up being a problem, is it hasn't really stopped snowing, and now there's about a freaking foot on the ground, and my van does not perform well at all. So this is what we're looking at. And there is no fucking way I'm getting out of this in this van. So it's all gonna have to melt away before I leave. So it's Sunday evening, and you may notice a change in my voice. I haven't been talking at all except during these filmings, and I went into the main lobby today. They have a little ante-room where they sell all kinds of flower essences and stuff like that, and they had a piano, and even though I was out of tune, I got to play a couple of songs. That was a real joy. I wanted to mention though, the real reason for doing a second recording today is I wanted to mention that there is definitely something happening. This is 4 days without any food, and I guess it started to manifest. The first 2 days I was drinking hot water with these beef bouillon cubes in them, and it was really good. It was actually like a meal. But starting yesterday, the thought of drinking another one was just absolutely revolting. I couldn't. It almost made me puke thinking about drinking another one, and so I've just been drinking water. Something is definitely going on. My sensations are becoming much, much more acute. I can smell things a lot better. I won't say necessarily I can see things better, but my mind is much more clear and alert. I can smell things that I haven't been able to smell before at all, and that's interesting. I was thinking how my mind jumps to these things that will sort of satisfy me. They're whim of the moment things, like going to the coffee shop or playing chess at the Chilson Center, or these things that I have to look forward to to occupy my time and sort of distract me. And out here there's none of that. I have nothing to look forward to at all. Not even food, not even having a meal. And so it's been rather painful. Not boring, just there's nothing to look forward to. And I mean, 9 days it's a long time, and it's still a long ways off. But I thought about taking a nap today, and I found great pleasure in it. In something so simple, like it was something I could look forward to. As soon as I got tired enough, I could lay down and crawl into my nice warm bed and find comfort in that. And that got me thinking that I think the brain can be reprogrammed. These stimuli that at least I chase after in my normal life, they're like overstimuli. They're they're over the top in terms of what's really necessary for the human soul. And I think it's possible that if you cut out all the distractions, you can find that same sense of anticipation, that same sense of wonder in very, very small things. Greetings! So, this is day 5. In about an hour and a half, I will have fasted for 5 days straight. Well, I sat inside today, inside the main lobby area where they have the piano, and I read for like 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, about 7 hours, I guess. I did maybe 250 or 300 pages in The Brothers, and I'm now on page 619, so I've made really good progress. I might even finish this by the time I leave. The snow is clearing, as you can probably see out the window over there. And over here, maybe you might be able to see the road is actually pretty clear. So as long as it doesn't snow again, as long as we don't have another huge snowstorm, I think I'll be good to get out of here without getting stuck. And I'm sure if these roads are this good, then the roads in town are even better, and I won't have any trouble getting up over the pass. As to physical sensations and whatnot, I felt a little short of breath the last couple of hours, and excuse me, I'm also very weak, very, very weak. I can feel my legs as if they've had a workout, and I don't know if it's from a lot of sitting, but I suspect it's not. I suspect that my muscles are actually breaking down a little bit, but I'll forego that. And I've also noticed that I'm losing my balance. So I don't know exactly what that's about, but when I stand up, I can kind of totter to the side a little bit. I played one song on the piano today, little Beethoven, and that was it. I just read my book. I'm gonna drink some water now and hope that helps my symptoms. Also, last night, I've had this low-grade nausea. I didn't have a headache this time, but I had like really low-grade nausea, and it's not very comfortable. It's not on the verge of throwing up, but it's just a really uncomfortable feeling. And if that persists and doesn't get better, I may cut this short. Well, here's breakfast. Greetings, friends. This is day 6, and in about an hour and a half I will have fasted for 6 full days. Physically, the only thing that I've noticed today is that my heart rate is slightly elevated, and it seems a little more difficult to breathe. So I drank some extra water today just to be on the safe side, although this morning all my water jugs were partly frozen, so I had to solve that problem first by putting them in my windshield and allowing them to thaw for a couple of hours. I also used the healing pools today, and I stayed in there for about an hour and a half. That felt really good. There was a lady who filled her drinking cup, her little Nalgene, up with this water, which I don't know if that's healthy or not. I don't think it's really a good idea. It's filled with all kinds of heavy metals. It's got like arsenic and sulfur and boron and all kinds of crazy stuff in it. So I certainly wouldn't drink it, but it was really nice to sit in there for a while. Last night, I wasn't angry. I was actually really, really sentimental and very, very emotional. I cried for a while, not about things in the past, but about things that I haven't done in my life. Things I haven't, but probably should have said to people to make relationships more fulfilling, and indeed haven't gone through that extra effort. That was the gist of it. Everything else is going really well. My thoughts are very clear. I don't have any headaches. Nausea has gone away pretty much. I feel like I could very easily go for 15 days, but I'll probably cut it off at 9 just to be safe. I think I've learned already pretty much everything I'm going to learn up here, and I think it's time to move on. The big debate is whether to go back to Fort Collins or to go down to Bishop's Castle, which is a place I want to check out. I heard a couple people talking about it. Oh, also I had a very interesting conversation with a lady yesterday. Her name was Donna, and she's a very bright lady. She's a pilot, at least she says she is, and she's into alternative medicine. Look, this is a healing place and stuff, so they get a lot of strange people coming in and out of here. She says that she's a hologram. What did she say? She's a virtual hologram twin, because at the age of 3 she could see the toroidal fields, and when her parents argued, they went into reverse polarity, and then she would sort of stop her train of thought and she'd say something like water, sound, healing. But she was really nice, and I had the distinct feeling that I'll probably run into her again. Anyway, and then I went in to check the forecast. Forecast for tomorrow, supposed to be flurries, but a high of 48, rain, and then kind of the same thing on Thursday. So I think I'm good to stay here. I don't think I have to cut out of town yet. And I'll tell you what, I'm already thinking of what my first meal is going to be after 9 days. Eggs sound really good, like an over easy egg. Steak sounds really, really good.
There really is no better way to find out what deeply set patterns determine your behavior than to come out in the middle of nowhere where you can't gratify any urges. Desire itself hangs out in the middle of nowhere, and you can't satisfy it. You're stuck with your own miserable self and have to learn something new.
So yesterday was day 7, and not really a whole lot happened. I went in to the main lobby and finished Dostoevsky's book. Thank God it didn't turn out the way that I thought it might turn out. It's actually a pretty good ending, and I recommend it. Brothers Karamazov. It's about 940 pages long or something. So today is the morning of day 8, and as you can see, once again, we're in the middle of a snowstorm. So I wanted to leave today. In fact, I'm supposed to check out today, and I'm going to go inside and inquire about the weather and see if it's supposed to be, you know, high in the 40s, or if we're supposed to get more flurries today. It's actually little tiny flurries coming down right now. I probably should have left yesterday. That would have been the perfect time because it was decent weather-wise and the roads were completely clear. But I assume by 1 o'clock today, it's 8:30 in the morning right now, by 1 o'clock today things will be all right. My nausea has come back, especially this morning. It's low grade, so I made a promise to my body that if it can hold out for one more day. I don't think I'm really doing a lot of damage to my body, but I think my body is really starting to wonder what the hell is going on, and sending me some pretty clear signals that I need to eat something. So tomorrow I'll cut my fast off at 9 days, and I may do a longer fast in the future, but one thing I've come away with is I should say I just have some pretty good leads on things that I should be doing in my life. And yeah, I'm going to eat a lot healthier, and I'm going to exercise a lot more, get back into running. I dropped running a couple of months ago, so I'm going to get back into that, go to the gym every day, that sort of stuff, and we'll see how it all pans out. Cheers.
A better bank.
Hi there. So this is day 9, and I did eat this morning. 2 eggs, I had 2 pieces of toast, a bowl of fresh fruit, and a glass of orange juice. And as far as yesterday went, yesterday was a disaster. Snowed the night before. It was kind of like this freezing type snow, and I should have left on Wednesday. I was concerned that I wouldn't get out of there. And sure enough, about 10 o'clock, it started snowing again, like massively. Not a blizzard, but it started coming down pretty significantly. And so I left under exactly the kinds of conditions that I did not want to leave. My car does not perform well in the snow at all. So be that as it may, there's a 2 to 4 degree temperature difference every 1,000 feet. So I figured if I could get down to lower elevation, everything would be fine. When I got down out of Buena Vista and down closer to Poncha Springs, hit the cutoff for 285. I was listening to the radio, and there were all these closures. I-70 was closed in not one but 2 places. So anybody in Vail was trapped in Vail. There was no way out. And 24 also was closed up by Leadville. So it was pretty serious stuff. I got back to Fort Collins area and immediately went and got a haircut, shaved as you can see, and took a nice long shower. I sat in the hot tub for a little while, and it was just wonderful. This morning I got up and went and ate breakfast, and I'm going to reintroduce food fairly slowly. I wanted to get something substantial in me this morning, just because I've been literally daydreaming about food for the last 2 days, knowing that a meal is coming up, and my body, I think, was ready for it. But it's really important to get a lot of electrolytes today. I'm not going to do any blood work or anything to see what my phosphate level is, but there is a thing that everybody who undergoes a fast really needs to be aware of, and it's called refeeding syndrome. You should probably really look into this.
So for those of you wondering, yes, I did lose quite a bit of weight. I went from 189.9 pounds to 174.6 pounds. With that said, I would not recommend this as a method of weight loss. 6 pounds of that was water weight that I gained back in the next 2 days, and probably a couple more pounds was muscles. And you don't want to be using your muscle mass as a source of fuel. So if you want to lose weight, look into regular exercise and intermittent fasting, but not long-term fasting like this. So the first major effect was an increase in confidence and willpower. Confidence and willpower are like wind in your sails.
I felt very, very awake. I didn't feel sluggish at all. So that was nice. Another benefit requires talking a little bit about automatization. When you take on new tasks, then for your mind, it's all hands on deck. Think about the first time you drove a car. You were making micro adjustments upon the wheel. You were making sure that you stopped on every red, that you went on every green, wondering if you were doing an okay job, eyes flitting back and forth, emotions all in a royal. But after 6 months, you're an expert. Just think about all the things that you know how to do without even thinking about doing them. Those have all become automatized. And one of the reasons that happens is the conscious mind pushes all those repetitive patterns off on the rest of the nervous system so it can stay primed and ready for new stimuli and for new things. And the problem is that both good and bad patterns can become automatized. So you know this if you are used to working out every morning at 5 a.m. and then a holiday comes up, you get up and the gym is closed that day and you can't go work out. So there's a pull, there's a psychological pull towards doing that thing. It's going to pop into your consciousness probably because it's something that you normally do, but you can't do that particular morning. And it doesn't matter if it's a good habit, it doesn't matter if it's a bad habit. In terms of how the mind automatizes those repetitive behaviors, the process is the same. And what happened for me was, since I couldn't gratify any urges at all, I couldn't really do anything while I was up there, these things would pop into my conscious mind vying for my attention. And after a while, I started putting little hash marks in different categories. And it was, I don't have the original one, but this is kind of what it looked like. I drew a picture. And I don't know if you can see this. We have, over the course of 6 or 7 hours, I thought about playing chess, having a beer, eating was a big one. Another big one was generalized fear of something happening or something left undone. And that was a big one. Take a nap, of course, that's always nice. So as you can see, these urges, by not being able to gratify them, I was able to form like this map of my subconscious, this map of my urges and things that were determining me and taking up a lot of my time. And a very closely related point, I'll say the third benefit, was that the urge gratify chain was broken. So back at home, say I was hungry, there's usually a one-to-one relationship between the urge, the hunger, and then me standing up from the couch, walking over to the refrigerator and gratifying the urge without a whole lot of thought. The whole process is automatized. But now, even after coming back to town, my different urges would come up into consciousness, but since there was so much distance, so much time between the urge and the gratification, the link between them was broken. And the urges themselves, when they would occur to me and vie for my attention, didn't have as much pull. So that was nice because I was able to sit with these things, and as they occurred to me, as they arose and vied for my attention, I was able to determine whether or not they were actually good or bad for my overall behavior patterns. And so I was actually able to change my behavior, which was really nice. So in summary, if you've got a monkey on your back, there's really no better way to make them dance than to deny the self. And preferably you should do that isolated so that, at least for me, it cut down on temptation. And this also provided the hard reset that I was looking for and allowed me to change my behaviors and lead a more productive life.